music, and honestly, I believe that we've all been duped in America, from heavy metal to rap to even some of the R&B music, where um, we were reckless with the power of influence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then the other, on the flip side of that, the church was messed up because it made things more about, you know, it almost like took out reality
Right.
and wouldn't address certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You Brandon, boy, this boy is bad. He Brandon right now. He putting faith on the
Hey,
mic.
I'm listening though.
I know, but I
Look,
love it.
it's
Let me
called
make sure.
multitasking,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
know, but let me make sure this boy is bad. And he no joke. He put that was a good angle. He seen it up there. He
Hey,
said, yeah,
I was looking and I was like, hey,
right,
thank
yeah,
God.
yeah.
That's
Yo,
wisdom, right?
that's good stuff right there. But
Uh,
but uh, there's been an argument for years, and I just want to know where you stand on it, about music really affecting our kids in a negative way,
Absolutely.
especially gangster rap. And of course, we can always do the black white thing. I don't want to do the black white thing, but we know heavy metal is the
Hmm.
equivalent of gangster rap. You know what I mean?
It is. It is.
But where do you stand on the music?
Okay. And I'm glad you brought that up. Now, where I stand with the music, first of all, I'm a very open person. I have an open mind. I like different types of music. I
Mm.
like righteous music. I mean, shoot, I'll even go as far as to throw some 3 6 Mafia in sometime and just, it's different vibes, different, different energies and stuff like that. However, I know what music to play for the type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain music that I'm gonna listen to before a football game. So we on our way to Hampton. Me and my son, we listening to triple X detention or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to necessarily go DJ that at a party, or you know what I'm saying,
Right.
or play that at the kiosk or whatever. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But for that certain energy or whatever, I'm listening to that energy. Now, I'm heavy on content, right? Heavy on content. So the type of fan I am of content is, I need a message. I need something like, if you're gonna talk, shoot 'em up, bang bang, whatever. Give me a narrative that's going to
Justified.
justify it, right? Don't glorify, justify. You know what I'm saying? Just bring it home. Give me a good ending with it. Give me or the reality ending. Like, don't glorify that,
Yeah.
because you got people who don't have are strong minded. Especially the
Now,
youth.
do you feel like people are hypocritical when it comes to the music versus the movies?
Um, yes, as
I guess as fans.
I won't even say as fans, more as crit- critics.
Right, right.
You know
Be
what I'm
critical.
saying? You can critique a movie, you know what I'm saying, that is putting, the narrative out there or whatever. But when you're doing it from a song perspective, see, but I'm a tricky artist. Like, forget everybody else. Let's just talk about me as an artist, Me as an artist, you're gonna get those narratives in certain songs.
Mm.
You're gonna hear profanity in certain songs. Um you're gonna hear things that might seem vulgar to the naked ear, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta dig deep into like, I'm very strategic with how I
Yeah,
put my content out, you know what I'm saying?
and there's a reality, and I think that's what this generation is really asking for, is like, show us what's
Be
real.
real.
Because what I call the King James version faith,
Right.
is like, and David sleweth Goliath. It's like, he just cut that dude's head off and walked around with it for 3 days.
Right, right.
Like, it's some gruesome stuff. So because this is why I think Mel Gibson had to do a rated R Passion of Christ,
Yeah, yeah.
because I was raised with Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was like three scratches, and he was like,
Nah,
you know what I mean?
let's be
When I
real.
saw
Yeah.
Passion of Christ, I'm like, where am I right now? And I think this is where a lot of people in faith struggle, and this is so interesting. A lot of people in faith struggle because they always want to appear like they don't do the same thing.
Right, right.
Like they want to appear like they don't listen to secular music.
Now let me drop this on you. So as it pertains to like really connecting and dealing with the youth and being leaders in their community, what I've learned is, you know, they're, especially in the beginning with the Faith brand, you know, you had teenagers and stuff walking by the kiosks and just looking or whatever, but it would be that one day that I get their attention. Oh, what's up, bro? I like your Air Max, fam. You know what I'm saying? What's good with you? You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, talking to me. I'm like, and I might strategically say,
that's good.
Them SHITs is hard, bro. I'll say the S word on purpose. Oh, them just fired. Now they're looking at me like, oh, shoot, he just used profanity. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, he just said, oh, yeah, boom. You know what I'm saying? And then now they're talking. It's like, so now they want to talk about the brand. Oh, man, I thought this was some super religious stuff.
And you pull them in on a deeper level.
You see, oh, man, I thought I saw faith and I just thought it was some super religious stuff. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just like you, man. I come from your world, blah, blah, blah. But, yo, faith is bigger than the religion stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we learn it through religion. This is my spell. I say a lot of us learn faith through religion, especially, you know, me. I learned faith through religion, but it's bigger than that.
It's about enlightening.
It's bigger than that.
You enlighten people. That enlightenment,
right.
and I think this is where you know, the body of Christ has to grow in, because here's what's happening. One, people are not as easily offended. We're getting away from that easily offended generation.
Yes, we used to be offended like crazy, man. Even me.
but then there's this seek, you know. There once was this like idea of, you know, super sophisticated, but then there was a loss of reality when you realize that super sophisticated was really oppressive. You know, oppressing generations, oppressing husbands and wives, everybody trying to put on this perfect idea that their marriage is so wonderful. And then when reality would strike and mom and dad get a divorce, or you find out dad has a drinking problem, or the pastor is sleeping with other women, and then you like, man, y'all had us fooled. You made us think that you were really serving God when you were really doing this. And the truth is, just like David, they really were serving God. They just also had these human issues.
They had other stuff going on.
And so we like to make it seem like everybody in the Bible was just celebrity. Abraham had issues. I mean, there's not one person in the Bible.
But think about too, how many people that God said was perfect in His eyes. People think that that's only Christ was the perfect. It's like, nah, yo, there's plenty of people that made obvious had sins and mistakes and this and the third, but God still like called them perfect in His eyes.
And I did a study to find out the Hebrew word for perfect is actually mature. It's not flawless.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's not flawless. It's mature.
One thing about the English language is so deceptive. You know,
you
can take one word and it can have 3 different meanings and stuff, and you know. So, but that's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, but that is an issue that we gotta be careful. And we got to be like, you can't say you want to reach the streets and then get offended when people use profanity.
Yeah,
you know, because that's how they talk. That's what's going to be heard. You got to be able to stand there and be like, okay, they're just communicating. They might be saying they like you,
right?
And they use profanity, and you go, oh, I don't.
Look, here's a perfect example. Back in like 12, 13, something like that. Me and my man Uriah, you know, we put out a song called "Worth Something," right? And the hook,
you told me that.
The hook, you know, I know I can't say the actual word, but you know, another word for a cat, Josie and cats, right? So we're in the hook is treat the P like it's worth something. I'm saying it without saying the word. Treat the P like it's worth something. Like it's worth something. Just don't go throw it at me. Treat the P like it's worth something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I had people offended because we were using that word. But I was in college at the time, going to parties and this and that. That's what
Literally
they
said-
call it.
and here's the thing:
Right.
there's a reality.
Yeah.
There's a reality that people talk like that. That's why, that's one of the issues where a lot of people don't want to hear from the people of God because they're like, you're not realistic.
Mhm.
Especially, it's not that people can't. It's not that. Because the Word of God talks about not using profanity. The Word of God talks
Mhm.
about being
Right.
of upright speech. But here's what happens, all right? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to hear it from people that's walking that out. But when people are just pretending like they're not talking like that at home,
Right.
or watching those movies or listening,
Mhm.
that's when it's like, bruh,
Yeah.
you say this, or if you don't say, your kids act like this. I'm not the kind of parent that raised kids to be like, my kids would never do that. I'm like, what did they do? Because I know we went to Coming Soon Jesus Church. My kids preaching on the, Facebook and everything, but I'll listen to how they talk when I'm not around, and they don't know I'm listening. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see this. Because at first I thought, my kids were like there's angels and then my kids.
Right.
Find out it's more like there's demons and then there's my kids. My kids will wild out. They will go, and the problem with that is